Good day everyone, I am Marie Micaela Sitisulian and today I'll be discussing the Katarungang Pambarangay focusing on light threats. What is Katarungang Pambarangay? Katarungang Pambarangay or the Barangay Justice System is a local justice system in the Philippines. It is operated by the smallest of the local government units, the barangay, and is overseen by the barangay captain, the highest elected official of the barangay and its executive. The barangay captain sits on the lupong tagpamayapa along with other barangay residents, which is the committee that decides disputes and other matters. They do not constitute a court as they do not have judicial powers. The system exists to help decongest the regular courts and works mostly as alternative community-based mechanism for dispute resolution of conflicts, also described as a compulsory mediation process at the village level. Alfredo Flores Tadiar was the principal author of Presidential Decree 1508, the Katarungang Pambarangay Law, and he also wrote its implementing rules requiring prior conciliation as a condition for judicial recourse. For 12 years since 1980 to 1992, he was a member of the Committee of Consultants, Bureau of Local Government Supervision, which overviewed the nationwide operations of the Katarungang Pambarangay Law. Under the decree, the body was known as Lupong Tagapamayapa. This decree was replaced by the Local Government Code of 1991. The Katarungang Pambarangay share characteristics with similar traditional hybrid courts in countries such as the Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea, Nigeria, and South Africa, among others. Such courts emerged during colonial periods as the Western imperial powers introduced Western legal systems. The Western legal systems were usually applied to Westerners, while the local dispute resolution system were integrated into the Western system in a variety of ways, including incorporation of local decision makers into the government in some way. After independence, many states faced the same problems as their former rulers, especially limited geographical reach of state institutions. Western-modeled institutions often divorced from community structures and expectations, and resource constraints in the justice sector. Hybrid courts became a middle ground for supporting community decision-making, while simultaneously expanding the authority and reach of the state. Overview on the operations, rules, and procedures. The Lupong Tagpamayapa is the body that compromises the barangay justice system, and on its sit the barangay captain and 10 to 20 members. The body is normally constituted every 3 years and holds office until a new body is constituted in the third year. They receive no compensation except honoraria, allowances, and other emoluments as authorized by the law or barangay, municipal, or city ordinance. Upon receipt of the complaint, the chairman of the committee, most often the barangay captain, shall the next working day inform the parties of a meeting for mediation. If after 15 days for the first meeting, the mediation is not successful, then a more formal process involving the bangkat or body must be followed. There is another 15-day period to resolve the dispute through this more formal process, extendable by the bangkat for yet another 15-day period. If not, settlement has been reached, then a case can be filed in the regular judicial system of the Philippines. Definition of light threats. A light threat does not amount to a crime, but still causes fear or mental disturbance. This type of threat also always comes with a condition that the victim must fulfill. For example, instead of being threatened with murder or property damage, the offender might instead threaten to share the victim's darkest secret if she or he doesn't do what the offender says. Light threats are punishable under Article 282 of the Revised Penal Code. Light threats, which may either be, number 1, where the act to be done does not amount to a crime, but it disturbs another. This may be subject to a condition or not. Article 283. Examples: I will fail you if you will not introduce me to your sister. This is a threat used by someone to manipulate a person into making a social introduction. The person is implying that they have the power to affect the other's academic success based on whether or not they comply, causing fear and pressure. Next example: I will report your absence to your father if you do not let me copy your answers. In this scenario, one student is threatening another with the potential consequences by their actions. By stating they will inform a parent about absences, they create fear of punishment to gain something. In this case, the chance to copy homework without directly using harm or causing harm. Next example is, I will tell your boyfriend about you dating other men. Here, the individual is threatening to disclose potential damaging information to someone in a romantic relationship. This type of threat exploits the fear of personal repercussions to manipulate behavior. Other lie threats, Article 285. A. Threatening another with a weapon or drawing such weapon in a quarrel. While this involves a weapon, it doesn't necessarily mean that threat will result in actual harm. It's a way to intimidate or coerce someone without necessarily following through with violence, thus qualifying as a lie threat. B. Orally threatening another with a wrong which may amount to a crime but the accused did not persist in the idea involved in the threat. This refers to a situation where someone threatens to do something illegal but does not act on it. For instance, saying, I could easily ruin your reputation, without any intention to follow through. This creates a sense of fear without a serious commitment to harm. These examples illustrate how lie threats function in a various interpersonal contexts, using fear and manipulation rather than actual physical harm to achieve compliance or control over others. While they may not constitute several criminal acts, they can still have significant psychological effects on individuals. Papua New Guinea Village Courts Functions. The court's function is to ensure peace and harmony in the area for which it is established by mediating in and endeavoring to obtain just and amicable settlement of disputes. If mediation fails, the court has a compulsory jurisdiction. Jurisdiction. The court has jurisdiction over all residents normally resident within its area, with inter-village disputes dealt with joint sittings. The courts exercise both civil and criminal jurisdiction, although the distinction is somewhat blurred in the day-to-day work of the court. Specific offenses within the court's jurisdiction are prescribed in regulations. These include striking a person, using insulting words, damage to property, drunkenness in the village area, failure to perform customary duties or obligations, sorcery. The court may also hear contraventions of local government council rules. Compensation and penalties. A village court may order compensation in most cases of up to 300 kina, but without any limit in cases regarding custody of children, bride price, or compensation for death. Work orders for an injured or aggrieved party not exceeding 4 weeks may also be issued. The limit on fines is 50 kina in cash or goods. A maximum of 4 weeks community work may also be ordered, but imprisonment, which in any event must be endorsed by a local or district court magistrate, may only be ordered if a previous fine or compensation order of the village court has been ignored. Example of complaints report. The image shows a complainant's form used for filing a complaint in the Philippines, specifically under the Office of the Lupong Tagpamayapa at the barangay level. The form includes spaces for the complainant's and respondent's details, a description of the complaint, and a section for the relief of resolution requested. The form is signed by the complainant and noted by the barangay or Lupon chairman. The report explores the Katarungang Pambarangay system, a community-based mechanism in the Philippines designed to resolve minor disputes, particularly lie threats. It highlights the system's legal framework which facilitates mediation and settlement processes. The report outlines the specific penalties for lie threats and compares Katarungang Pambarangay with other similar justice systems, such as Papua New Guinea's village courts. The overall effectiveness of the system in promoting community peace and order is emphasized. In conclusion, Katarungang Pambarangay plays an important role in the Philippine justice system by effectively handling minor disputes and promoting harmony in communities. This system emphasizes mediation, which allows for quicker resolutions that are more culturally aligned with the values of the people. By understanding how Katarungang Pambarangay works, communities can utilize its benefits to keep peace and resolve conflicts in a friendly way. Its approach helps maintain social order and encourages positive relationships among community members. And here's the references. So our quote for today is from Ephesians 4, verse 32. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, as God in Christ forgave you. That's all in my report. Thank you.